So today we're going to attempt to install this Alorair Sentinel WHD 100 whole house dehumidifier. Humidity is currently 78% in my house. First things first, got to install this Brain Saver 3000. Ducking under here enough times, I'm gonna clobber myself. Just good old pipe insulation. Now that'll hurt like one pipe insulation less when I crash right into it. So here's the big challenge. That has to come up here. It only weighs about 100 pounds, but it barely fits through the hole. So this morning is going to be a split between Rube Goldberg and Wile E. Coyote, which is it's not a good start, team. It's not a good start.
Who's Wile E. Coyote?
But I got an idea. We're going to try it. A moth. Get out of here, buddy. Can you go down the hole? Sure. It's like, what would Popeye do? We have a double purchase system line to a pulley, which means we have a 100-pound unit. We've doubled the length of rope, so we've cut the load in half. So it's a 50-pound pull now, which is totally manageable, but it's just big. And if my rigging points are correct, then hopefully it'll come up through the hole. If not, it's going to be a wrestling match. I'm gonna have to put you down here. I mean, the weakest link here are these clamps. Believe it or not, I've done stuff like this before, but I've doubled them up just in case. Steel ring. Here goes nothing, right?
Yeah, I do feel good about this.
Of all the dumb things. If it works, is it dumb? All right. All right, with any luck, the rest of this will be a breeze. With any luck, did I just jinx it? Probably. I'm gonna get it going, and then we're gonna talk about it. Well, I thought I was all set. I ordered ducting, ordered what I thought was 2 of these, but I only got 1. That was my mistake, not Lowe's. We're gonna need to cut into the plumb box on this side, and on that side, eventually. But right now, we're gonna try to get this thing dialed in and set up, which means we gotta figure out where it goes. 10-inch air in that I'm gonna dial into the drawing side of the HVAC system, so it'll use all the returns that are in the house already. The dehumidified air that comes out the front, we're just going to push into the plenum that will distribute it throughout the whole house. That is one of the many options for this rig. It does also have a fresh air vent, which I am not going to hook up. It is an on-off option, but for me, I do not want to try in very humid air. That defeats the purpose. The house is plenty drafty, but if I ever wanted to, I could. So that's an option for you if you want. This thing also has a drain. It is only on one side. They did a nice job of making sure that you can access the air filter on either side, but the drain is only right jaw. So I need this to drain onto the other side of this unit into that PVC. And that is basically ganging the drains from the air conditioning unit to this, which I don't think they'll run at the same time because, well, the AC will inherently dehumidify. But today is a very balmy winter day where it's nearly 68, 70 degrees and high humidity. So I don't really want to run the AC and we're not running the heat. So the humidity in the house is insane. And this is a perfect day to try a contraption much like this. So to make all this work, I think I gotta build a table for it to sit on.
Can I do that?
All right, gang, I'm back from my second trip to the hardware store. The first one was for all that ridiculous rigging to get this thing up here. Now that it's up here, it's a relatively simple thing. I've got power nearby, right there. I need to duct this into the housing duct system, which I think I have all the pieces for now after my second trip. And we have to drain the water that it's going to collect from the air. I'm going to go into the plenum on the air inside, and I'm going to go into the plenum on the air outside. That way, this is just using the existing system that's already in the house. Drain is right here on the machine. I've got to run it over to the existing PVC drain pipes that run all the way out of the house. They drain the condensation from the air conditioner. My current thinking is, let's start with the drain. So it came with a hose. We're going to try this hose barb fitting first and see how we do. Remember to wrap your Teflon tape in a way that as you turn it into the fitting, it'll actually press it down. If you do it backwards, as you turn it in, the tape will actually come off. All right, so I got the hose barb in, the line run to the other side over there, but I went through all the stuff and I'm still gonna be at least one fitting short because you gotta do the sacrifice. 3 trips, that's how it is, man. Because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get the ducting lined up and going. That way, if I still gotta go out yet again, I can pick up whatever I need for that when that's not all ready to rock and roll. It is very toasty for a winter day, which is why I need this dehumidifier. So there are a bunch of ways you can do this, right? I'm gonna go right into the plenums, but theoretically, you could cut new holes in the ceiling, run independent ducting, tie into your ducting with Ys or whatever else, Y splitters. This is just the best way for me to do it, I think. All right, there we go. It's very dusty in there. We need to clean all of that out. Boy, howdy. The little finger dudes go in there. And we'll tuck them all under so they grab on real tight like. All right. That'll go something like that, and we'll tape that seam when we get her done. Figured this would help me get my turn and make it more eleganter. Not just for looks, but for airflow. I'll put a link in the description to all this stuff the best I can. Maybe Lowe's tags, that's where I bought most of the stuff from. Now we gotta get from here to there. Look at it go. Like a sandworm.
Oh, sandworms.
It's warm up here, team. All right, so you need to get the inner duct around your tubifier, and then you'll slide the insulation up over that. There we go. So I don't have much experience with this stuff, but I know that the inner ring has wire in it, so I'm gonna try to cut the outer part with scissors, these scissors, and the inner part will hit with the diagonal cutters when we get our length. I want to have this long enough to be out of the way, which is, yes, sacrificing a little bit of efficiency for me being able to maneuver. So now we're gonna do the exact same thing that we did over here, right over there. And I'll see you guys in just a minute. When that's all done, we'll connect our ducts. We'll have our ducts in a row, and then we'll go from there. Well, I left myself some service line in the lines, you know. At this point, we gotta hook up the water drain pipe. That's exactly why I did not put this unit on the other side. I can clear this thing, but it is not a fun step, and I want to be able to change the filter on this very regularly. All right, there we go. Well, third trip to the hardware store complete. Hopefully, that's all of them. With any luck, we'll be in business, but I'm about to cut it. Which, even if I screw it up, I guess it'll be okay, because we know how to fix it. It'll just be the fourth trip to the hardware store. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, maybe? I don't know. Go in maybe there. Theoretically, it'd be something like this. Maybe not my finest work, but before I get too crazy on getting it just right, I gotta see if this all works, because if it's gotta move, I'd rather know in a temporary position. This may work. It may not, though. I'm not a professional, gang, but I ain't scared neither. You know, worst case, I make a mess. You know what I'm saying? I clean it up. Still saying 78% humidity. My billionth time into the attic. So it's 72 degrees in the house. The 59 you see on there is what I have the heat set to, because it just hasn't been kicking on. Whoa. As usual, I've made a spectacular mess, but I've made progress too. So, you know, that's how I operate. I'm gonna plug in this control panel, which I think is also the thermostat. I'm not 100% sure. It must be. I'm gonna run this while I clean up, just to see what happens. It's way humid up here too, so I'm sure it will have no trouble kicking on. Let's figure this out. Hook this up. Let's see what power does. It's running. I need the instructions. Hi, me again. Ryan here. Instructions. This manual is actually pretty thorough, at least with the installation parts. So, oh, wrong button. So there we go. You can see the water running down the tube, even though I got a kink in it right now. But it's not leaking yet. I've been gone for about 2.5 hours or so, and it's already dropped the humidity in the house 10%. So, not bad. So it's another balmy winter day here between the sharks. It's going to get to the mid 60s, but it's 96% humidity. So this for me is the perfect time to have this thing running. The heat isn't really going to be on because it's not that cold in the house. The AC is definitely not going to be on because it's definitely not that warm in the house, but the humidity is definitely present in the house. Overall, it's potentially a pretty easy install. So as you can tell, it runs pretty darn quiet. In fact, I've gone back to the control panel a few times to see if it's even on. I have some experimenting to do to see if it's more effective if the central AC fan is running or if it just runs better on this alone. We'll see. All I know for now is it is definitely pulling moisture out of the air because I can see it dripping out of the machine and onto the ground outside through the drains, which is what I want. So its efficacy is going to be based on how your house is, right? Like how big it is, how drafty it is, how good the windows work, the general humidity, all of that stuff. But all I can say is it's definitely pulling humidity out of this house, which is a huge help on a day like today and most days here in the southeast US, where it's essentially a jungle. So I definitely think this is a DIY project. Definitely better with a little buddy, but it is the kind of thing that you can probably do yourself. And if you're not sure, just climb up in your attic or wherever your air handler is and poke around. If you figure a way that you can plumb in the drain, figure out how to tie in the ducts that are 10 inches, and you can have somebody help you get it up into the attic, then I think this is something that you can most likely do yourself. And I don't think it would be a very expensive install if you bought the unit. So I have been researching these things for about 1.5 years, trying to figure out if I should invest in one when I get around to doing the AC system for the ranch. It does a lot of things. It keeps your stuff from getting funky, but it also makes it more comfortable, right? Nobody likes being sticky. So all things considered, this took me about 8 hours, including 3 trips to the hardware store because plumbing. It really is potentially a weekend project if you guys want to get into it, clearly depending on your circumstances, you know what I mean? I'm thrilled to have it. It's already clearly working and making a dent in the humidity in the house. Is it enough for the whole house all the time in all conditions? I don't know, but it's definitely helpful. I think it will keep things from getting funky, and it will keep things more comfortable, and it will be more cost effective than running the AC unit slash furnace and having that unit cycle. This is an upfront initial investment of about $1,000. Like, there's no way around that yet that I'm aware of, but maybe there's a discount code here in the description though, if that helps you out. So we'll see. Maybe it'll pay for itself over time. Maybe it will just be a tool that helps make this place more comfortable and less gross. But I'm pretty thrilled about it. This is something that's been on my mind for a long time to try out. I'm super happy to have the opportunity to do so, and I'm super happy that it's not that big of a deal to install. So if you guys see the need for one, I think it probably is a do-it-yourself project. It's not easy, but it's not hard either. You know what I mean? As always, thanks for watching and good luck on your projects out there.